All right, everybody, heading into Game 3 of the semifinals of V3 versus Crest Gaming Act. We're already seeing V3 actually seem to be having a stronger presence in this game, so in this series so far. Really held out Pazon. That Camille just did so much work in that previous game. Expecting we'll see that ban here in a little bit, if there is that adjustment there. Or if Crest Gaming, I think they can make an adjustment otherwise. But as right now, there have been no adjustments. I think these have been the same exact bans from the previous game. Respectable Yumi, Tom Kench ban, Karthus as well. And we're also still on the same side. V3 still opting for that blue side. So as right now, I think the bans have been the exact same. Actually taking Jinx off. That was an interesting ban. Really digging down into the pool of art maybe there, or hoping to open up the pool of available champions, just kind of giving it a throwaway ban here. I mean, Art has played Jinx with some success within the past split, but rather just an interesting ban overall to being throwing down there. So Zaya getting picked up for V3, the Akali ban coming out from Crest Gaming Act. So I do think this is just sort of a flex trying to bring up more power champions to the front. More junglers available, just top lane options sort of force the threat here. And a Lucian getting picked up early on, so Crest Gaming Act putting a lot of emphasis onto their bottom lane prior to making sure that they can match that. Maybe a little confident with the fact that Art can hold up against Torimash in that lane. Now, once again, getting that Aatrox that he liked so much. I would have to expect that V3 Esports are going to be very happy with the Aatrox pickup and just going to likely go and opt into the Camille once again. Do expect a change up in the jungle. If it is Evelynn, that still would be pretty interesting. I mean, Baby had kind of a rough start. That I like a lot more, especially coupled with a Camille that makes for a very easy dive comp. Assuming that the Camille does get picked up here. Ooh. All right. Computer did not load. Come on, what's going on here? Why did you stop? You just stopped in the middle of everything. Do you need something? Do you need me to swoon you? What's going on? All right, whatever. Back in it. I don't know. I was thinking about dropping it and restarting it, but keep flying strong, I guess. So keep on going down the line. And a Renekton instead of the Camille. I think that, although I was a major fan of Paz's Camille, maybe V3 going for a different team composition, and the Renekton with Elise combination, that still acts as a beautiful way to dive someone under a turret. A lot of front-end damage coming from the Renekton. Camille does take a little bit longer to get that damage going. And Renekton being tanky enough along with the Elise to just repel in, repel out. It's going to be a lot of kill threat towards the top side of the map. Potentially bottom, depending on where the support goes. And as you can see, the Rakan banned away because they do not want to give it the Lovers bottom lane. Gragas finally showing up in this series. Has been banned out a couple of times here. Crest Gaming finally making the move to go ahead, grab Gragas for themselves. Do you think that is the right move? And V3 banning the Pantheon. Some of these bans, the Jinx and Pantheon, interesting to me. It feels like maybe they know something we don't, or just trying to open up the champion pool in a significant way, or maybe they're going for like some kind of interesting pick, because mid lane is still available for V3 and support is what they're looking for. On the side of Crest Gaming Act, likewise, it's going to be the mid and support as well. So maybe they just thought the Pantheon was kind of causing them trouble before in the mid lane. The Pantheon, when Luna had been playing it in game one, it did cause a lot of pressure for them. And even the LeBlanc, a champion that Luna hadn't played that much this split as well. Only one game on it in the regular season. So very intrigued by V3's prep for this. It's got to be something that they've learned in scrims as far as the priority of those champions. It does have a lot of roam potential on those champions, so maybe they just want to make sure that Luna stays in lane so that he cannot influence the rest of the map. Make sure to have that lane pressure. And picking up a Jace for themselves, that is a lot of AD on the side of V3. Sure, they have the Elise. I'll be interested to see if they actually go for maybe not a tankier support, but something with that could provide an AP threat. Karma is still available, so they could go for that. I don't think that is a traditional bottom lane with the Xayah, but could give a little bit more AP power, a little bit support, round it out later down the road. Instead, going to be the Thresh. So this team is one that kind of goes in and goes in hard. They engage with the hook, following up with a Mercury Hammer kind of slam going on. Rakton really going to be trying to chain CC a single target very quickly and take them out of the fight. Or Crest Gaming Act, their team comp a little bit more well-rounded, it seems. Ooh, is that Lucian is actually going to be going mid potentially here for the long-range carry? So they knew something I didn't. I guess that Lucian had always been going to be going towards the mid lane anyways. That's why Ace, I mean, Jace is a comfort pick for him. He's opted for that champion quite a few times through the regular season. So that gives him the safety there. But Crest Gaming Act, maybe knowing that Jace was a potential threat on the table, they said, all right, we're going to match you, pick this Lucian early, make sure that we have the ability to go ahead and deal with that longer range threat. So a lot of AD on both sides of the table here. Gragas, at least the only AP threats on either side. So going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think I like the sort of front to back and straight up forward team fight of Crest Gaming Act. I think it's a bit easier of a team to execute through. I mean, you have the Sivir ulti to sort of chase anybody down, exploding cask to follow up with a champion that Hachimecha should be far more comfortable on. I think we'll probably see a bit of a better performance out of him, but I think there's going to be a lot of pressure going to be exerted from Baby on the Elise likewise. So still looking for the junglers to kind of get these games rolling for ourselves. But intrigued to see how Luna can hold up against Ace. Ace on his best champion, arguably, at least the one that he finds the most comfort with. Likewise, there's comfort really on both sides of these champion pools here, because Sivir Art, he's played Sivir the most this split as well. I mean, Nap returning to that Aatrox, but although we didn't see Nap really step up too hard on the Aatrox, I mean, it did provide what we've usually seen. Just kind of contributing to the team in like a lukewarm response, and maybe Paz feeling like, don't worry, took this guy on Camille easy enough, who has the better advantage. I can definitely take this guy on Renekton. So Braum already basing. Just flying on back right quick. Get that sweeper, throw out a ward, reset. Got a pretty defensive start from both sides here. Nobody wants to get access to that jungle, get that vertical clear. They want to be sure that Elise doesn't get a nice, easy vertical jungle clear to immediately sweep towards the top side of the map, potentially. Do see some red pings over on the red side, but looks like Baby's going to be starting on the bottom side. Looks like we're going to get matched jungle starts here to see where these junglers decides to go. I imagine that Hachimecha plans on matching Baby, going on up to support the Aatrox on the top side of the map. But we'll see how this goes. This bottom lane, I think it's going to be a bit more pressure from the side of V3 from the Xayah and Thresh here. And Sivir will have that pushing power as well to see where these go later into the game. I think V3 are going to be very dependent on an early game pressure versus CG, who have a bit more comfortable. I mean, especially with the Sivir, to just scale on up. So Elise looks like going to be just doing a full clear the bottom side of the map, maybe just swing bottom or look at the options. Gragas neglecting his Gromp. Nope, just doing that double clear, getting those camps. Getting the ever important Krug camp, and junglers rushing over to the other side of the map. Level 2's coming on in here for them. But as far as the series goes, it really does feel like V3 is putting up a nice, strong fight and showing that they really want to get into the finals to face it up against Detonation Focus Me. That last game, I mean, Crest Gaming Act, I think, held the control for a large majority of the game, but stalled really hard. Ooh, Luna roaming on up. Didn't get close enough for Baby, but put that ward there for the safety of his jungler. Make sure Elise doesn't sneak her way in. But V3 putting in clearly a lot of prep time. I think the pick ban might say something about that. I mean, I'm not sure, again, about the Jinx and Pantheon ban. It seemed a little out there for me, but again, they must know something I don't. And for the teams, though, for this game, I should say, I do lean toward Crest Gaming Act just because these games have kind of tend to extend it a little bit longer than I would like. A lot of these teams have sort of stalled significantly around the Baron buff, not really pulling the trigger full on. So that Ward and Tribush just timed out, at least coming around the bend. Target does still have Flash. Flash from the Renekton does put the Cocoon down. They are committing to this. There does repel up. Gets their Flash out, both used by both top laners here. But that's going to be the typical gank that we see towards the top side. No kill secure, but should give pressure to Paz here up against Nap, as he's not afraid to go ahead and keep these shenanigans out. And just really nice timing with that Tribrush ward timing out. Baby being there right at the perfect moment to try and make something happen. As far as the mid lane, though, we see this Lucian actually getting a little bit of CS, forcing the Jace into the turret here. Does have the ability to pour out a little bit more mana and skills faster than the Jace, I think, in a safer manner. Hook going on to Adame Momo. Don't think anything much is going to come out. The Unbreakable will. Coming on out for the Braum. Going to shield that nice and easy. Nothing too fancy here. As the jungler starts to... Ooh, another hook on Momo. Getting tricky. Getting a little low there, so Vivid showing up on the Thresh here. Vivid doing so much of the playmaking for his team, becoming such a problem and getting in the business of Crest Gaming Act. I mean, doing work, I mean, especially in that last game when he was just roaming around on Alistar and drawing so much attention for Paz. Such a funny way. Oh, here's Baby looking for a lane gank opportunity, though. Looks like Crest Gaming Act's bottom lane just going to reset. Vivid doing his best to stall it out. Hook misses there. And Audiomomo being a good support, making sure that his AD carry can stay in, dropping the Unbreakable. So a nice slow start here. I think this is what Crest Gaming Act wants so far. Prevent Baby from getting what Elise wants to, because later in the game Elise drops down in power, but we have the level advantage on Paz, and we have Baby moving on up. Nap getting so low, and that is just a clean-cut kill right there. Looks like some business going on bottom lane. Vivid going to get locked up here by the stun from the Braum. Eternmash trying to do damage, lock up, and root them. Audiomomo now getting very low. The exhaust dropped by Audiomomo there. Vivid not committing to the ignite or the kill just yet. But now they have the advantage with summoners. Teleport already used by Art and getting pretty low. Going to have to reset on the lane here. Intermash might be able to get the CS advantage here. It may be able to get the lane set up here in a decent path. But does hit the level 6. Paz just dropping the ulti. Just lock up that stun. Baby going to flash in. Get the stun as well. Just the repel away. And as clean-cut kills that you expect from an Elise Renekton. Anytime you see those champions paired up towards the top side of the map, it's just going to see that over and over again. Unless it's a real hard target to go after. But something like an Aatrox, it doesn't have a lot of ways to escape. I mean, can go ahead and try and dash away, but doesn't have a lot of tools to keep him safe, especially now that the revive has been removed from his kit entirely. But unfortunate for Aatrox, but great for everybody else, because maybe we'll start seeing him less and less. And honestly, I really do think we're going to start seeing Mundos, Shens towards the top side, a lot more of these bigger tanks. See some pings towards the bottom side, even Elise moving on up. Ace trying to get into that position towards top side because they want to just rinse repeat this over and over again. They already got a kill onto Renekton, a 20 CS lead essentially. And we see it again. Hachimecha on the play though. He's going to stay back and hope that the dive comes through. I don't think they know that he's in the area yet, but Baby is going to go ahead and see them. They are going to know that both junglers are here. Paz really deep in the lane. Thinking about it for a moment, we're going to pull back because Hachimecha does have the level 6. Would make it very difficult for Baby to make this secure kill. Cause a lot of trouble with that dive. But we see the difference of goals in these junglers, at least trying to get kills, pressure through these turret dives. And Gragas just trying to farm up. He knows that he's going to be there for the turret dives and such. It's nice, slow and steady kind of Gragas. I do like it when you get that hardcore AP Gragas that's invading and going for those hardcore kills and such. But as far as the lanes to gank, he doesn't have a lot of great options. Maybe Paz would be the key goal for him, but nothing too fancy. We can just see this Renekton. Oh, actually, now it's going to be a 2v2. Elise on the way. Paz doing his best to stay alive. Does flash away. Barrel misses its mark. Paz still in it. Does have full fury. Going to heal up just slightly and disengage on that. Ultimate's used by both the Gragas and the Aatrox as well as the Renekton. Going to go ahead, reset that wave. Ooh, Executioner's Calling and a BF sword built by the Renekton. So really flexing his muscles there. I'm guessing he's going to be going for the Sojins here. But picking up the Executioner's Calling, I like that a lot into the Aatrox. I know people have got their problems with Executioner's Calling, but I mean, I think it does change a little bit. It changes enough in those kind of like tight fights. So more pressure towards the top side of the map. Paz is going to know that the jungler's here. I think Hachimecha could have pulled the trigger on that. I think he had Predator available, even though that ward was there. Paz not having flash might have been a kill secure because Nap did have flash, so might have been an opportunity missed. Knowing the jungle was there, we see a ping over on the blue side of the buff. He's going to start this dragon, probably just going to get this Scuttle Crab, make sure they get that security. Dropping a control ward there, going to know that it's in the area. As V3 move up towards the blue side of the jungle, try and get some vision control. Oh, Luna going really hard, dropping the culling onto Ace, going to drop him to below half health. So all this work for vision control might be lost here as Luna's able to force out Ace from that lane. I'm guessing that V3 wanted to go ahead and try and challenge this blue buff to let Ace kind of give him free him up a little bit so he didn't have to deal with this bullying Lucian, who now has Cutlass, going to just have more sustain in there, and with the blue buff he's going to be able to stay in lane just indefinitely. Slowly build up a larger, more significant CS lead. Really holding Ace to it. But I do like this sort of flex with the Lucian. I had my doubts for Crest Gaming Act, but they came to play as well. Came with some prep. I mean, such an early Lucian, you are just kind of like blankly like, what is going on here? Oh, ooh, okay. I was like, are you gonna shore that up, man? So they caught Gragas on the bottom side of the map, gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on to Rift Herald, but they do think something's going on. Aatrox gonna try and Umbral Dash. Nope, just dropping wards down. Renekton keeping pressure top side. Baby's losing some doubt in his ability to keep this, but Vivid roamed on up. This is going to be a nice early Baron take, Hachimecha, though, in the area. Squares Bloom going across here. Smite does come down. Going to be able to pick that up. So a nice early Rift take for the side of V3. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. Support roaming up, going up to support the jungler. Make sure that they can take it. Rift Herald getting dropped topside. That is going to be a dead turret, likely, with the support of this Rift Herald and the support laner. We've got three other members of Crest Gaming Act heading out topside. Jace is a little bit behind the play, and he does not have teleport. Xayah could look to teleport towards topside because Sivir does not have it. But this is not going to be a turret taken down. Answered by Crest Gaming Act's team, moving up through the map. Did not want to risk Zaya just using teleport towards the top side of the map. Would have been nice to see a fight, but that turret's still standing there. Able to get a nice substantial amount of gold. This Renekton's going to just keep taking it to this Aatrox with the item advantage and damage coming through. I mean, we have seen Hachimecha sort of slow some things down towards the top side. He has been top so frequently. If I could just see the percentage of time that he has been up there, it's probably way up there at this point. But Blade of the Rune King finished for Lucian. Going to be even more trouble for this Jace in the mid lane. Going to take a while to get some items done. Oh, Vivid doing a good, nice job keeping that Scuttle Crab in the area. Make sure they continue that vision control on the bottom side so that Hachimecha doesn't get that opportunity, so that they know that they continue to know that he's likely top. If they do not see him bottom because they've dedicated so much vision, he's likely top. Make those informed decisions. But as they get that vision, gets all cleared out by Crest Gaming Act 2, probably figured where the jungler was, pulled the trigger, forced them back. I think Jace ended up being back and could not go ahead and contest that. So the Mountain Drake going over to Crest Gaming Act. So Rift Herald over to V3 for now, Crest Gaming Act. But this is going to be a first turret going over to Paz as he continues to just be such a dominant force for the side of V3. He seems to really be carrying through the team. Ooh, hook onto Ottoman Mo and gets completely obliterated. I did not expect that. I was going to take a deep breath there to sort of try and start calling what was going to be going on there. But the Essence Reaver doing enough work for the Zaya there. The crit's coming in just, I guess, right through. That Brahm's still relatively squishy. Only a little bit of armor for himself and just going to get popped immediately. So nice dedication over by V3. I mean, Thresh didn't even have to use Ignite there, so they still even have that kill threat for themselves. And that pressure on the bottom side, I mean, V3 is going to move through the jungle, so they're taking a lot of proactive moves here, little by little, using their champions to great success. They want to keep this momentum going. Definitely within the next 5 minutes, want to see maybe the shift towards the bottom side. Try and get some emphasis on that. Get baby involved with the bottom side of the map. Get some dives going onto the Sivir and Braum. It is a difficult lane to probably get control of, but I want to see that happen. Luna going hard, drops the Blade of the Rune King, drops the culling. Ace getting very, very low, forcing the flash, nearly dropping there. I totally understand why they chose Lucian now, making all too much sense. Can dish out a lot of damage there and keep the Jace busy. Makes Crest Gaming Act a little bit squishier in that regard, but less of an AP threat. But when you're matching the other side, who rarely has an AP threat as well, only through the Elise, it's not a problem. You can go ahead and match them, just get that counter pick with the Lucian. So kind of like playing V3 pretty hard in the champion select, it seems. And here I was spouting off that I liked what V3 had done. Maybe at least speculating, because I'm still not sure about that Jinx and Pantheon. Maybe that's what threw them off, because that Pantheon was probably catered towards Luna there, not expecting it to go mid. But forcing the flash, a nice roam down by Paz, getting it out of Luna here, giving them maybe some kill pressure finally. And with getting that flash, they now 5 members of V3 moving on towards the bottom lane. It's going to take that blue buff, that pivotal blue buff from Ace. I mean, get it onto Ace. Oh, but maybe they're behind the play. Not sure if they want to dive, go for this blue buff. Just going to let Crest Gaming Act make their way back. I mean, I suppose just getting the blue buff was more important to them so that they didn't have to deal with Luna's shenanigans, especially with that mid lane turret getting dropped in the mid lane so much earlier than their opponents. Lucian continuing to commit so much pressure. Durmash, take the Lancer, man. Oh. That just makes me sad. Just zoned out, looking at something else. How unfortunate. Goodness gracious. So Luna going in at it again. Does have the culling, going to drop it onto Ace. Ooh, getting so close to death. The Ignite getting dropped. One of these times, the kill is going to come through. Ace getting getting beat up here. I mean, the CS is tied, so Ace is holding on. Eventually, he's going to be able to outpoke Luna, so making it happen. But man, oh man, those have been so close. Luna probably getting really frustrated with the fact that he's just come so close now to getting these kills. Oh, jumping around a little bit. Computer stuttering, maybe having some problems for itself. But next, Ocean Drake coming on up. I do hope that there is some contest for that, although the fear of Crest Gaming Axe team comp is definitely there. Oh, so present. The teams slowly work on. Ooh, and there's the damage you want to see coming out. The very squishy Gragas, although he is a large man, is it's all for show. He's no longer the tanky man that he used to be, no longer building that Cinder Hulk. Opts for that AP because he's got a lot of nice burst. Personally, I always thought that he was just going to be like an additional support, but still strong enough to, with the AP, just end up being in the support role and kind of shifting towards that AP style. But can make it work in the jungle, can burst targets so quickly. And then Exploding Cask does a lot of damage in the end of the day. But V3 able to get this Ocean Drake. Not at the ideal time. I mean, we're getting closer towards 20 minutes. Usually want that for laning phases. We sort of step out of it, but we'll keep them a little bit healthier. Definitely help the Jace as they get into sort of a formation for turret dives and poke later on. So that'll be good in that regard. Now finally getting a turret for himself, so matching those turrets. So V3, I'm sure, definitely want this mid lane as Ace continues to drop out poke. And V3 working to get control of the blue side of the jungle. They really want to make sure that they keep that blue buff off of Luna so that he doesn't just have free reign and a deep mana pool to pull from. Try and get this mid lane turret. They're really pressuring it hard. Baron going to be up in next less than 10 seconds. There's no other current objectives. Expecting this to be essentially a stalemate on both sides here. Unless Crest Gaming Act feel like they can just pull the trigger. Nice spell shield from Art coming out there. Dodge the hook. Just get some nice mana back. So the longer this game goes, I think the more fearful V3 probably become. I mean, they're going to be reliant on the damage from the Jace and the Xayah going into those, scaling into the later game. I think that Jace is actually going to hurt considerably. I mean, we already saw that poke damage come out onto the Gragas in such a substantial way. So there's potentially 3 different targets. I think the Aatrox will get tanky enough to maintain that. But the Gragas, Lucian, and Sivir going to be pretty easy targets to sort of punch through. The nice thing on the side of Crest Gaming Act, though, is the Unbreakable from Braum. Going to be able to absorb a lot of poke damage, as well as the Sivir with the spell shield at least dodge out some of that nonsense. But right now, Crest Gaming Act just kind of playing very defensive. They're letting just fine with scaling, going about their lives. But V3 trying to be proactive. They're deep within their jungle right now. And actually, there's a flank going on by Baby and Paz trying to make their way through the jungle. Luna going on in deep. They couldn't quite get there for the turret dive. Oh, Vivid tries to flash in and get the hook, but ends up just getting a minion. But I'm liking these plays getting set up by V3. Ramfkin still ticking away on his ultimate. They're really considering going on in. That nice poke damage from Jace. Forcing Crest Gaming Act. Now Paz flashes forward. Greg is going to get dropped immediately. Audio Momo getting very low. Paz falling in on the end. Your Tamari Mash trying to make something happen with the Blade Caller. Not able to make it. The Featherstorm Blade Caller. Oh, goodness. Not able to follow through just yet, but nice turret take by V3, and that's sort of the how they want. I mean, minus the death, but maybe a little bit so that he can maybe when he has his ultimate. That's how they want those kills to roll on over. Ooh, and Crest Gaming Act not fast enough to return to go ahead and take care of this lane. Actually going to lose a second turret, so a huge net income for V3 on that play. And it felt so kind of sloppy, like they weren't able to get it. They're like, we're not able to get it. But, oh, Jace landed a pivotal Q. Got some targets below half health. Paz felt comfortable with going on in. So let's go ahead and see this. Like, I like that Paz and Baby were deep inside the jungle, averting vision. Renekton drops the ulti. They're not able to get it, so it's like you think, all right, so this is going to be it. I mean, the hook misses, everything. Glacial Fissure misses. It's just like, all right, this is looking pretty rough. So just waiting. Give me some damage. Ooh, nice Q. Gets their health a little bit lower. And Paz says, and we're going. Gragas got cocooned. So maybe good work by Baby and Paz really coming up clutch. Ooh, Paz now in the 2v1. Going to just ulti and dip on away. Elise, though, running on over. Now Luna and Nat may be on the bad side because there's even more members of V3 coming on over. Turning onto Paz, getting a lot of damage. Luna trying to do best he can. Elise going to rappel up as they get the kill onto Renekton. Now Nap on his own. Ace going to get that kill for himself. Luna still in a healthy position to go ahead and do a lot of work. Animomo going to drop the Glacial Fissure. Hachimecha on the backside. Going to almost kill Baby, but dodges out the damage with a nice flash. Featherstorm does come out and executes the Gragas. Arc going to get out of there with the ultimate run on out. So 2 kills in favor of V3, and they're going to be able to take this minion line up with them to the bottom lane turret. So nice play by V3 yet again. Crest Gaming Act overextending on that bottom side of the map. This time they not want Paz to have a run of the map, but a little bit of a misplay overextending there. But I do wish, if anything about this game, is that I wish the quality would return to this gosh darn stream, because it is a gosh darn pain. So Paz beating up Nap, Lucian coming on down. We can see the layout of the map. Sivir and Braum just mid lane. They're going to get forced back by the multiple members of V3 pushing through, and then V3 comfortable. There is a stronger unit. They know where 2 members are. They're going to just force past the rest of the members of Crest Gaming Act. V3 going to do that nice slow collapse. Unfortunate Paz died, but goodbye Crest Gaming Act to see the opportunity to at least turn there. He's going to get a kill for himself. Get some damage out. And there's quite the split fight here. A little bit of split focus. V3 trying turning around in time. Baby just dodging that damage barely. An easy kill for Yuturi Mash to pick that up. Art going to just drop the Sivir ulti for his own safety. Try and get out of there. And a second Ocean Drake for V3. That gets to the point where sieging is going to be even easier for them. That's all they want to do. All they want to do is siege. Going to keep Jace's mana level very healthy. Going to have a hook or cocoon that catch a target under. Once a hook or a cocoon catches a target, Renekton can just jump in, stun. They can just blow so much damage onto one of those squishy targets, immediately convert to a 4v5, force off Crest Gaming Act from the turret, because these members they are not very tanky yet. You don't have a completed tank item on the Braum just yet. You have mobility boots. That's cool. But your tankiest member is Aatrox, and he's been getting kind of beat up here as well. Got the Renekton to just absorb a lot of damage. And with that Sojourn's completed, Renekton's very happy with just sitting in the side lane, just keep pushing that up. And we can see here, Paz just kind of getting, again, the freebie in the side lane, again in a hook. V3 just at a distance bullying out Crest Gaming Act, and now being forced to answer the threat of Paz, similar to last game. But this time, V3 are not in such a detrimental spot in the game. They're not so significantly far that they have to rely on Paz to solely win the game for themselves. Instead, they're letting Paz put pressure on the other side of the map, force Crest Gaming to act, and what do? You go for the Baron call. This is the nicest Baron call that I think we've seen this entire series so far. It is going to be a 50-50 threat right now. Hachimecha could go ahead and jump on in. Glacial Fissure knocked out, but at least going to go ahead and secure that. Watch used by Vivid to go ahead and get out of there. Paz getting collapsed on. Is he going to be able to get out? Going to just flash over the wall. So that looks like V3 able to get out of there just in time. Almost going over to Luna, but nice stopwatch usage by Baby. And that, I think, is the best Baron we have seen this entire series. V3 playing it nice and clean by the book. Crest Gaming Act even behind the play. I think actually playing off the fact that Crest Gaming Act has been so slow to react to these Barons at V3. Maybe the coaching staff was like, hey, once you get that advantage, once you force them around the map, pull the trigger. Go for it. And nice to finally see everything about this is going well. And with Baron, they're going to continue their siege under turrets. We see Paz going off to the side lane, that last remainder second tier turret. Expecting that all these lanes are trying to get pushed, sending Paz to the bottom side. Ooh, actually really going to try splitting the map here. Force a bit of a 1-4 here, I'm expecting. Just get all these minion waves up. Pressure there. Maybe converting to a 1-3-1. Trying to figure out how this is going to work out. We expect it would be more comfortable for the Jace to be along in the mid lane, but I suppose there's not much that they can answer with the Jace solely. I mean, oh, baby, getting the cocoon onto Hachimeka, almost taking him down single-handedly. So we're dropping the ultimate to go ahead and run out of there. And actually, they had enough pressure. And ooh, nice Q from Ace there onto Luna. Seeing that Jace poke damage come on out. And like V3, they're going to just be able to run this down. They're going to have such healthy pools of health and mana. Even if they get chipped down a little bit, they can just walk away a little bit. Ooh, Hope coming up. But nice spell shield from Art. Moving towards the top side of the map. Infernal Drake in the next 30 seconds. We'll have to see how that shapes up. But a lot of pressure in different lanes as all members continue to force all the minions into V3 at the same time. Have a nice 1-3-1 going. Maybe needs to be a little bit careful here. But without the Sivir threat, it's not going to be too easy for them to get ahead onto them. Although I thought Crest Gaming had an opportunity to go ahead and engage, I do like their straightforward just team fight. They're really not, they don't have any kind of like very straightforward engage. And V3, very comfortable with this dive. They're going to just go ahead and go straight forward. Paz with the stopwatch, going to keep himself healthy. Ooh, getting very low there. Going to lantern out to safety. Xayah getting a kill for herself onto the Aatrox. Is this going to be game over? 2 members dead of Crest Gaming Act. 43 seconds left of Baron. 2 minion waves of Baron going on in. A teleport coming on in from Paz once more. Baby getting very low himself. Luna doing what he can. Yutori Mash getting the kill onto Sivir. Luna out on his own. Going to get taken down as well. There's only one more member of Crest Gaming Act alive. This is going to be a very short, sweet, clean game coming out from V3. I didn't think it was going to end up like this, but V3 really taking it to Crest Gaming Act. Crest Gaming Act, I thought, had it together with their pick ban and maybe... But, I mean, in the end, they just could not scale up into the later parts of the game. V3 getting what they wanted. I think it is a result of Crest Gaming Act really not being too aggressive with their plays here. Not being proactive enough. You constantly see Paz and Baby like invading in together. Looking for these flanks or these fights. Really playing into their team composition. And the Gragas from Hachimeka didn't feel very useful at all. Just felt like a dead body. Like, I mean, I've got to put the guy in the tank. The Gragas was very unconvincing. So far, this series, Hachimeka has been pretty unconvincing. It's been rather rough. I mean, Paz has just been dominating so significantly. Just completely incredible. I liked the Lucian a lot, but just that was the only pressure point on the map out of the side of Crest Gaming Act. Every other lane sort of suffered and didn't come out ahead in the end, and they were not able to scale to later points of the game. You have to see how Crest Gaming Act sort of adapts in this next game. Like I said earlier, I know it goes to game 5. Like, I know that V3 do not close it out just here. So how does Crest Gaming Act punch back? Let's go ahead find out in game 4. Thank you all for listening. I'll be back in a bit. Bye.